You already know, you hear the sounds in the background. I'm just going to let y'all know people are trying to be in the background, different cars, different sounds, and everything like that. Um, so, what's happening this week in my city is we're dealing with the HARP organization. We got some fake rain for my pain going on. That's what's really going on. It's really, really not supposed to be raining right now. It was supposed to rain days ago during a Pisces moon or yesterday. But it's, you know, I don't mind fake rain. Everything fake isn't bad. We got fake hair, fake makeup, cosmetics, and stuff like that. If it's fake, it's all right. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be baked. There's false furs and leathers and stuff like that. So all of that, we don't have to judge it. You know what I'm saying? Some people, they're considered two-faced. Jekyll and Hats. We're in Gemini season. But if you really think about it, sometimes you got to be flexible and adaptable because when you're not, some people can try to take advantage of you. That's why countries have double agents and spies and things like that, because there are people in their own home nation that is trying to hurt them. So, even in royal families, there's sibling rivalry. So it's important for people to be open and not be so uptight about being so real, because what's really real? We're supposedly living in the so-called matrix, a so-called hologram, but it is important to have authentic values and to have integrity and to be honest and to not be fake. I've had a lot, basically my whole life, a lot of people in my family and my environment and my circle have been two-faced. That's just what this in this world what I learned what's really going on. But I don't take it. I try not to judge people because I'm not always. I don't like to. I'm not always, what's the word? I'm not always real with myself. I don't even keep it real with myself all the time. So how can I expect people to keep it real with me when I'm still getting in contact with family and friends who are disrespecting me, when I'm forgiving myself or forgiving others for treating me wrong? So, you know what I'm saying? The way you want to be treated is the way you treat yourself. And even if you're like, you know, if you're like a goddess or a god like me, people are going to come for you for your heart and try to take it out and try to get you to do mean things and join them. When they say, if you can't beat them, join them, what they're really talking about is join the mean crowd, join the miserable crowd, join the ungrateful crowd. But you can beat them, and I'm here to let you know that you're not alone. They want me to feel that I'm alone and trying to beat these people who, or what I would like to call them, the ungrateful ones, because they don't, they might be grateful, but I'm not trying to compare my gratitude to other people. But I'm just grateful for being outside. I'm grateful for having another life, for having another chance to be on this beautiful planet. I was born under the Redeemer sign of Pisces. So I'm thankful that I have another time to do things that I want to do and need to do in this lifetime. And I don't really want to judge people and different things like that. Um, I want to, you know, you know, have the judgment that I want on myself for other people. That's what I think being a good judge is. And I'm very thankful for the people that are here, that are present, that is, that compliment me. The only way you could compliment me is if you are what you call me. So we're all reflections of one each other. The light and the love that you see in me is the light and love that you have in yourself. Like they say, it takes one to know one. So right back at you. Um, we're all gifted. We're all talented. We are bountiful. We are plentiful, and I'm very thankful to have this opportunity to not be opted out, because we got to be careful about that word opportunity. I've been ignoring a lot of opportunities for money lately, because I realized, even though I've been taking opportunities like having conversations with people, those are opportunities. Those could opt me out. But it's like I'm on bond right now, so it's like, work on bond both. I don't want my rainbow to go, or it's like, and it's just a lot of different things. But I'm not afraid of no work or whatever. Like if that's the case, then I would just not have clothes on, go outside and forage, live among the animals. I'm not about that life right now. Yeah, that's something that I want to do while integrating with modern times, while living in the metropolis. But you don't have to be so extreme. You don't have to be so radical. We are able to have, you know, the best of both worlds. You know, we don't have to be so constricted. Um, so I'm just going to talk about my day. I know the other day I complained about my song being lost, but I found my song Corn Artist. I The CD is damaged and I have to re-record it. However, I did find the lyrics and I realized the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics on 9/11, September 2011. I know I told you all in past videos and previous lives about my relationship with 9/11, how my father came and picked me up that day, how they're using numbers and symbols to do certain things. So I want to be wary of it. And I realized I wrote it on Beyonce's birthday, and her astrology is very similar to my to the one that I've been with for almost 2 decades. They have the same sun and moon, and I even seen her in a dream. It was like she was old. I felt like she was trying to drain me of my energy. But like, I don't want to talk about her in a negative way, because if that was the case, I could have talked about Janelle Monáe in a negative way. I mean, Jane Aiko in a way, Janae Aiko, but I didn't. I recommended her song. There's some things that I've noticed about her as well. But it's not always the people. Sometimes it's just the people around them. It might not be necessarily Beyonce, who's a Virgo like my moon, or Gineka, who's a Pisces like my sun, that might try to be using them against me because they have the same sign as me. It could very well possibly be the people that are around them that are trying to use their energies against me to combat, whether it be the letters in their names, their signs, where they're from, certain things like that. People will use the people around you and the places around you to try to compare, to try to cross you, and different things like that, because we're people. So they want to try to put everything on a loop. Um, so yeah, I wanted to say that, and I'm having some difficulties um, with, I'm not really having any difficulties, but I'm just wondering, about the whole re-recording process, the rewriting process. I realized I have two different versions of my song. In my original piece, I don't have lyrics that's actually in my composed recorded piece. So I'm going to be working on that, and I look forward to sharing that all with you, the whole song and everything, and presenting that to you all so you can listen to it, and hopefully you all can identify it with, some of the people in your life you may have had to take up for yourself while you felt like you was taken advantage. I know it's a song that men and women can relate to, of all ages, because we've all experienced heartbreak. We've all experienced, unfortunately, we have experienced being used or being misused or feeling like that. So this is a song that I hope that can help people, and that really can heal me and my soul, and my life and my love, so it can bring us wholeness and peace. Um, Another thing that I would like to talk about is, I just want to have gratitude for the plants and animals. Y'all know I'm from PA, so that has plants and animals in it. Like I said, I'm a Pisces and an Aries. I'm born right on the cusp of, the first day of the cusp is the 17th. I learned that from um, Fernando Perham. He's an astrologer. He's the people's astrologer. And if you check out his YouTube, you'll find on one of his videos, he talks about how the whole cusp is from the 17th to the 23rd of each month, and how people born on a cusp, he talks about different cusps, but he talked about people born on a Pisces Aries cusp, and he was talking about how um, something tragic had to happen in my past life. So I'm back here to try to make things right, make things the way they should be in this life, with all the love and the courage that I have in my heart to do. So that is all of these people that I have been recommending. I'm not trying to wreck them. I'm not trying to just drop names and everything like that, because sometimes when people mention people, it's a mention. And in the word mention, we have men, and then they have a cross, a T, and then ion. So I have to be careful about the things I say, because people try to use negative energy against me, whether it's negative energy that's internally or externally. People are trying to do certain things. But for the most part, I really don't want to complain, because I see things are picking up. You know, my family members are being less treacherous. The environment is being less treacherous. So I just want to have gratitude for things getting better. And I want to be thankful that I have my music, and not all is lost, not all is stolen, and that we are whole, that we're still together. I'm very thankful for that. And I just want to express to the people not to give up. I'm not giving up. I'm not quitting. You shouldn't quit. And there are times where we have to be still, we have to pause, we have to, you know take moments to recuperate and things, and there's nothing wrong with that. But we should never give up. Even when we can't do the things that we want to do, we can do the things that we need to do, or the things that's available for us to do. So even if there's roadblocks, don't let anyone get in your way. I realize that people are trying to use music against me, whether I'm listening to a song on my headphones, and I'm on a bus, music on bus mob, or whether I'm at a certain location. YouTube will create a playlist for me, and they try to use certain songs against me in different locations and things like that. But I'm not really worried about nothing, because I know I'm the minister of music. I'm Muhammad. So they really can't use music against me. And I just wanted to also say that I know it may come off. I know the people that are on here or my type of people. So I really don't have to express that I don't have an ego. But I know just saying that word, people want to sanction war against me, because I am a Virgo. And in the word Virgo, we have go. And my name is Essence. So people's like, oh, your ego. But really, I ain't going nowhere where I'm going. I'm going to be right here. If it was really ego, you know what I'm saying, what would it be? You know what I'm saying? That's the solar plexus. That's sun. Don't let nobody tell you to not be egotistic. That's what's giving you life. That's what's charging you. That's what's creating positive and negative and neutral ions in you. It's important to feel good about yourself, to feel confident. If you don't have certain egos, how could you protect yourself from people who are trying to put you down? You know what I mean? People who want you to shrug your shoulders or slouch or mimic them, and be less like you. Be more like you. Don't go with the norm. Just because everybody's picking on somebody at school or at work or at the club doesn't mean that you go in. Just because somebody's gossiping on somebody at church don't mean you put your 2 cents in. Be better. Express that love. You know what I'm saying? That's somebody's child. That's somebody's husband. That's somebody's wife. That's someone's sister and brother. Have the type of energy that you want for others. Have it for others, and it will come back to you. It's worked for me, and I hope that it works for you, good people. You know what I'm saying? But what I realized is there I don't want people to be taken for granted and taken for advantage. And I know sometimes I have taken people for granted in life. I have been taken for granted, but it doesn't mean that we have to continue to take people for granted and be taken for granted. You always have the ability to change. You always have the ability to grow. That's what my mother always says, and I'm starting to believe her. However, I don't want to have too much grace on people to where they feel like they could just keep on coming back in my life and doing the same things when I'm already traumatized about how our relationship went. And even though I say I'm traumatized, I really don't hold on to that, because I really don't feel traumatized about anything. I have the type of alignment that just makes me able to always, I have like a self filter where I'm always able to heal and recover from things. And it doesn't mean that It doesn't mean that I don't have those issues. You know what I'm saying? People say mental. You know, in the word we have ment and we have tall. And backwards, that's lat and that's nim. So really, you know, people, your mental is really your masculine energy. And that, you know, that's your mind. And that's what it seems like they're trying to take from us. It seems like when it comes to colonization and all these mining projects, people are digging for resources. Are they really trying to do masses and take our mental health away from us and take that energy from us? You know what I'm saying? In the word paternal, we have the word pat. You know, I started off life as a Pisces until I became 3 years old. Then I became an Aries for 30 years. And now I'm 0 degree Taurus. That's Pat. Like Patra, like Cleopatra. And so, you know, it's very important that we be able to, you know, to be able to protect our mental energy, to protect our paternity, protect our surname, to protect our energy that we have in with ourselves. And if you're a woman, you have that masculine energy within you. If you're a man, you have feminine energy in you. It's important for us because we're made with both. So it's important for us to, you know, I don't want to say protect because in the word protect, it seems like they want to detect or prostate and get to our kundalini so they could take the booty, but they ain't gonna take my booty meat. I know that's what they're trying to do, but they can't have that because I ain't with all that. And I know they got spells with hot dogs and buns and ketchup and relish and mustard. This is why I say this isn't for kids, because kids ain't ready for this. And children are already told by their parents and teachers to do bad things for the gang to hurt other chosen ones of God. So, you know, using these words, I just want to have disclaimers. You know, I ain't trying to diss the claim and the calamity, but there really are certain words that we really got to think about. You know, some people say, oh, you need professional help, but really, what's professional? What is professional? Is professional just colonization? Is professional syndication? Is professional therapy? The rapist? Think about that word, therapy. The rapist, the rapey. You know, it doesn't mean that just because the word in the word rape that, you know, there's also the word grape. Should we stop drinking grape juice? Should we stop drinking wine? We, you know, there are people who name these things and everything like that. But if you really think about it, we really can't get too caught up on the labels. Whether it's a diagnosis, a mental health diagnosis, whether it's, you know, or names or the names of the food or the names of the animals. You know, we got peas, we got sweet peas, we got peacocks and different things like that. My grandmother went to a school called Peabody, and so did my cousins. But really, it's just the PAE, and that's really not bad, you know, if you really think about it. Um, so I know that I seem scattered all over the place, but I'm really just trying to come with like minds and say, hey, what are we going to do about these ops? And I know that, you know, I feel like I'm a one woman, you know, band, one woman army sometimes, but really I'm not alone. I know people all over the world are here for me. I know that sometimes people are told to do things that they don't want to do against me. So I try to help them help me by protecting myself so they don't have to betray me, so they don't have to backstab me, because I know it's the fake Vatican and the Pope that's coming against me. I'm really the real Vatican and the real Pope. You know what I'm saying? Like Ethiopians say they're Ital. You know what I'm saying? Italians took that from Ethiopia and start calling them themselves Ital. But I don't have a problem with that. Like I said, and my past lovers were Italian, were Roman. So I really don't have a problem with sharing and everything like that. But sometimes when you share, people try to share. But they weren't only Italian, they were um, Ghanaian, they were Kemetan, they were Alcubalanan, they were Hawaiian, they were Caribbean, and so was I. I was all of these things. I'm the real Mama Mia. I'm the real Mercury in Aries. You know what I'm saying? I'm the real grandma. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with Gigi for real, cause I come through with that energy. And I just want, I really came on here. I know I call it the evil of life, but what I'm really trying to inspire people to do is be bold. Know that, you know, what are they going to do? You know what I mean? I just think about it. How much have we already been through? What's the worst that they can do? What? If we come together and band together and come together, there's more power in numbers. There's more power with all of us combined. And I'm not trying to confirm that there's powers in numbers so they can use these numbers against me that are living entities. Um, I'm just really like I'm saying like I said, I always have to talk. Everybody want to consume and just watch shows so they can hear people talk. And that's important for us to have conversation. But it needs to be mutual. We need to have dialogue. Sometimes you just gotta relax. Sometimes you just gotta think. And it's like, okay, yeah, we in strongholds. Yeah, we got plumbing. Yeah, there's some Mario and Luigi stuff going on. We taking showers. We ain't washing by the river. You know, it's raining. So why get in the shower when it's raining? You know, God is bathing you. But it doesn't mean that you have to be on a struggle bus in that shower. But it's like we had plumbing, we had piping and stuff like that. We were doing mason work and agriculture and manipulation of the land, whether it was forming mounds for gardening or you know bricks for stones, bricks for building. We have done all of that, so we just can't keep on blaming outside entities. We really need to come together as a people, as a good people. And what I notice is they're trying to use my family against each other so they could try to infiltrate us all and come in the castle and try to sack us. In the word castle, we have CAS, and that backwards is sack. And I understand that they're trying to use my family members against one another, and I'm not really worried about it because I know they got me. Whether they acknowledge me or not, whether they respect me or not, I know that ultimately I'm going to make things the way they should be in my family because that's my purpose. And I know that with or without my family, I'm going to extend and overflow to the greater community and put myself in a position in this space to help my family all over the world because everyone on this planet, I don't want to say everyone on this planet because some people are really like, you know what I'm saying? You know, I've always been the type of person that's been like, oh, the world, but really, you know, not all of the world is good. There's warfare in the world. You know what I mean? There's spiritual and biological, mechanical, all types of warfare. So, you know, it's important to not be for everybody. You know, everyone in the word, everybody and everyone, there's Eve. And, you know, there's constantly some battle, you know what I'm saying? Like in the word, you know, any, it's A and Y. But we're not about to have A go against Y. We're not about to have my lover go against my brother and reverse it and it's just my brother's name. Y and A. You know what I'm saying? So we're not about to have that. We're not about to have that energy. I realize that my brothers and my lovers are intricately connected, whether it be their signs, whether it be the letters of their name, certain body parts that I'm connected to. Um, in my past, they want me to confirm things so something can stand firm and everything like that. But I'm not really worried about that. I know, in when I was a teenager, I went to this party, and right before I got jumped by people in the party, some friends from high school had invited me to it. They played this song by Too Short called "Blow the Whistle," and they want to say that I'm whistleblowing or whatever, but who am I whistleblowing to? This is my world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not about to say, oh, I have an ego or anything like that. But it's like people are trying to use the creation against the creator. And that's what I have noticed. And I noticed they want to use people's names against me. Like I was jumped by somebody named Denise. I was given just recently $10 by someone named Denise, but it was a trademark because I took the money. So she was really setting me up. She didn't know she was setting me up. She's not a bad person. She truly loves me. But one of these mobsters told her to give me the $10. And I knew better than to leave the August Wilson Day with the money because we're connected to 10. My brother's connected to 10. My lover's connected to 10. I'm connected to 10. So I kept the $10 there at the event because, like I said, they're trying to use Hamilton. My name's Muhammad. You know, I have a lot of 10th house energy, whether we're talking about Greek mythology, Chinese astrology, Greek, Kemet astrology, Greek astrology. It all correlates. It all has substance. It all matters and materializes it's all it all has some width and depth and volume in in it. So I like to acknowledge all parts of the world. You know what I'm saying? And I want people to know that before I start talking about Italy, I need to talk about across the street and next door. They don't, you know what I'm saying? I, it's not always these people, your own people or so-called African Americans that's just working for um, Romans or Irish or Scottish riots or so-called bad guys, whether they're black or white or Mexican or European or Nigerian. Sometimes it's just people in your own family that's trying to set you up. And that's what it really was with me. Ever since I was a little girl, I've had my uncle setting me up. My uncle Mickey used to have me, he lied and had me drawing a whole bunch of coffins one day, and my grandma let him do it. I was just drawing coffins, but really what he was trying to do was set me up. Really, what he was trying to do was do a coffin spell on me. We know COF backwards as fuck. And, you know, they were really trying to take that and really go to the max. And they had my own family members set me up, you know what I'm saying? And I just want you to know when they're telling you to do something bad to somebody like me or one of the chosen ones like yourself, just know that it's going to come back. Just know that, you know, they're really trying to set you up, to set someone up so they could set me up. That's what all the setting up is going to be, because I am all set, and I am all that's gold, and they just want to upset me to set me up. But don't set up the great mother. Don't set up all set. Why do that? You know why? It just don't make any sense. And a way you could um prevent being set up and setting up Offset, who lives inside of you, who lives inside of everyone. You know, we have them in our planets. We have the planets and the places within us. Is keeping it real with you. You know that fake person that just keep on calling you. They already did you wrong. You gonna love them. You gonna reach out to them. But what can you do if they're being told by the monsters to do you wrong? What can you really do? What can you do about it? If just engaging with these people is coming against you, what can we really do? Oh, let me just love them some more. Maybe they'll change. Maybe not. You know what I'm saying? They want to use the word maybe against you. In the word we have may, and then we have be. We know who the queen bee is. It's the spelling bee. Who's been spelling? You know what I'm saying? Me, Muhammad Essence Muhammad, me. So, you know, I want everybody to be a spelling bee, like the movie Akila and the Bee. Let's unravel these spells and let's really get down to the bottom of and the top of what's really going on, because we know top or bottom, they trying to take our feet, and our feet's connected to the spiritual. There's real power in, you know, Alex Haley, you know, Queenie, his maternal side, um Kuta Kente, his paternal side. That's real. That's real energy. And, you know, I realize a lot of these movies are trying to chain us. They're trying to take our feet away. They're trying to stop us. And we can't let that. We can't let that. We have to protect our family. You know what I'm saying? We have to protect ourselves in the past, because they're putting us in these movies. And speaking of movies, I realized that I'm not trying to put everything I love just out there so it can be wrecked. So some things I am keeping sacred until it's at the right time to talk about it. Because if you just let everything out, blah 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 blah, then people are able to manipulate. Even if you keep it inside your head, it can be infiltrated, because we eat food and we drink juice, and we're taking tap water that's consuming us. So we have been compromised and we are being spied on. They 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 can think what you think. They can see what you see. I don't have to go into all the details of why I know that, but just know that I know that, and I know some of you all know it as well. But don't be creeped out about it, because, like, hey, that's just the way the world is. If you listen to Brother Sanchez, he'll tell you that there's a spider at the top of the world at the North Pole. So spiders have 8 legs and eyes. So everything's already looking. You know, we're on these latitude and longitude grids. Don't worry about who's looking at you. Just know that The people that's looking at you is the Most High and God, and is your ancestors and your protectors. So just because you think you're being infiltrated and spied on, just know that somebody's watching them and they're in trouble. You better believe that they're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Um, if they think that they're just going to keep on manipulating us and cultivating us, if you get a food that's from a certain country and you consume it, that country has some weight on you. You know what I mean? And let's not be divided by these countries, because in our reality, we're connected to all of the countries from all of the seas, all of the oceans, and all of the land masses. They try to use borders, languages, different dialects, and customs to separate us, but in reality, we're all together, you know. So later, once I do some of the things that I told y'all I was going to do, I'm going to be revealing more information. I'm going to be sharing more information. I want you to be able to see progress. I don't always want to be insane with the same hairstyle and the same clothes on, but there is something that's genuine about insanity. We know that Dr. Einstein, Albert Einstein, we just talked about Alex Haley. They're trying to use these names against me, A&E, different things like that. They're trying to say, oh, here she go again with Albert Einstein. They're Pisces. They think they're going to cut me and all that stuff because we're connected. He wore the same clothes every day. Sometimes I cook the same food every day. Sometimes I do the same things every day. But, there was a time that I would do something different every day, have a whole different style from that I wore from the next day, have a different meal plan, from the next day. But when I'm ready to do that and go back to that type of time that essence was on, I'll do that. But I don't want y'all to ever think that. I don't want you to let people try to claim you and then try to call you a lame, because what they're really trying to do is they're trying to climb up on you. And in the word climb, we have limb. And really, they're really trying to take your limbs. There's a song by Regina Ceptor called Appraise More. It's spelled Apres. It's French, and the other word is Moi. It has the same initials as what some of the Latins identify me as. Eve Maria is AM. You know what I mean? It's backwards. It's Ma. I am what I am. It's a lot of energy today. It's the Aries moon. I have a lot of Aries energy. I have Mercury in Aries. So I want y'all to listen to that song. It's a song that my love told me about. And it just talks about how sometimes people want to drain you. And even just acknowledging that song, I realized that they used that singer to go on a movie, to write a soundtrack that could possibly hurt me and come against me, just the way they did to graphic designing. I'm realizing, even watching movies, like I was watching Back to the Future, John Wick, P Valley, and I realized how they was trying to capture me in all of these movies. So, look at these movies and see if you could see certain things that are uncanny, that are resemblings. An uncanny is an uncanny resemblance. It's just too familiar. These people feel like they can have power over me because I just mentioned all of these movies. They feel like they can betray me. They feel like they can move me because I confirmed it. When you confirm something, you got to be careful, because once it leaves your head and your mind, it's expressed, and that's why we have exports. It's exported. It's like cold press. Cold press. Cleopatra Ptolemy. You know what I'm saying? Cincinnati, Pittsburgh. So once it's exported, you know, there's an import. There's the import. Is the import imperialization? What is really being imported and what's really being exported? They got Justin Timberlake, they got JT. They say they bringing sexy back. I'm here to let y'all know, in the word sexy, there's X, and there's nothing wrong with it. They had people saying, I am Malcolm X. So there's power in the X chromosome. There's power in the masculine energy. There's power in the X. There's power in the X-Men. We really need to know what's really going on. There's power in mutation and mutants. So like I said, Muhammad. But don't let them try to mess you up. People got these red rum spells. I know Jamaicans got rum cakes. Backwards, that's murder. We know, murder. You know what I mean? They're constantly threatening me. They're constantly threatening my siblings. And we know also they got the word curry. We know there's Mercury. That has the word Merc in it. You know what I'm saying? So even though we really got to be really careful. We know Jamaicans didn't name themselves Jamaicans. Um, they are trying to be jarred. They're trying to be captured. That goes back to Jar Mason. But really, they can't capture Jamaicans. They can't capture the West Indies. They can't capture the Tayana. They can't capture the Caribbean. But if you really think about it, we can't just give all these people the rights and the power to name and claim us. We named and claim us. Even if they thought they was naming and claiming, we was doing some stuff. Even if they said, oh, this is a Greek word, this is a Latin word, this is a Spanish word, this is a French word. How are we not French? How are we not Spanish, English, and Latin? We have all of these things, whether it was through war, whether it was through raw, whether it was through love, whether it was through integration in the nation. We have all of these things in us. We can't separate it. We know Aboriginals were all over the world. We know, like I said the other day, a lot of the music, a lot of Jamaicans have dubbed in their music that backwards is bud, dub, but buddy. You know, that goes back to some of the Dublin. But we know the people that founded the Druids in Ireland and Scotland were African. That's why they had pleats. We know Egyptians and Comedians weird pleats, weird plaid, weird these type of things that might be connected to Palladians, the pleats, the plaids, the plays, different things like that. Um, I'm not, like people are trying to stop me physically, financially. I'm not really worried about it because I know I am money. I know I am honey. I know I am Muhammad House. And even though they want to use these Arabic and German names against me, such as Muhammad House, you don't always have to be so proud and claim, what's yours, because some of the things that's ours is going against us. But I want y'all to know, in this half hour that we're not cut in half. We are whole. Each hour we are together. We're one, and we cannot be overcome. You don't have to feel alone. In the word alone, there's all one. And like I said yesterday with the ebb and flows, for the past 20 years, I've been with El Wolf. You know what I mean? Backwards is flow. So it's time for us to flow, and it's time for us to express. And sometimes they want to use archetypes and animals against me or whatever, like the flow, like the wolf, like some of the colors that I may wear, some of the hues that I may have, or some of the tones and shades and the vibrations that I may have. But really, in all, collectively come together and know that nothing can be used against us. Don't allow these people to freak you out and say, oh, because this person's initials is this and they're connected to that, we can't get in communication with them. Don't let them do that. But do be wary of people's intentions and be wary of your own intentions. So I wanted to come on here and talk for a while and just express myself and in a way that doesn't press my ex, because that's what they really want to do. They really want to harvest our melanin. They really want to eat us. They are trying to eat us. They're trying to get our melanin. It's important that we're there for leaders in our communities who are there for us. I see a lot of treacherous things in the community. I see a lot of hating. I see a lot of people trying to big up haters, people who have hated on me and compare them to me, but they have no comparison. They cannot compare. I don't care what the relationship was or what happened. They cannot dethrone me. They cannot take my crown. Um, they cannot take you out of your square. Don't let them take you out of your square. That's what my grandmother always said. So this has been a great live. I'm thankful to be alive on the evil of live. I'm here and I'm unveiled. I literally took veil and I took it back. And I just exposed myself to the whole world. So there's less sacredness. I'm not covered. My hair is not covered. My face isn't covered. I I'm expressing and I'm exposing certain things, but it doesn't mean that I'm going to be exit out, and it doesn't mean that they're going to take Alex Haley. It doesn't mean they're going to take my AH. It doesn't mean they're going to take me and my man, and they're not going to take my divine feminine and masculine. And I'm here to let you know they're not going to take yours either. We are a chosen people. We are royal people, and we need to be loyal, and we need to understand and understand that just because they smiling and grinning at your face doesn't mean that they ain't gonna stab you. But we can't let them try to get us in any direction. People want to brag, oh, we didn't backstab you, stabbed you in your front. But there are consequences for coming against the the conga, the heart of the conga. That's why I have the song Con Artist. So I'm going to continue with that. I'm going to continue to journal, and I'm going to continue to express my love in this life. This was the evil of life with Essence.